Have you ever opened a book, seen the amount of information you need to note, study, and prepare for the next class, and just closed it back? Well, I have, and that's why I decided to open Google instead and research some methods that could help me make my note-taking journey, first of all, much easier and then much more effective to revise or study later on. And that is what I want to share with you today. So welcome to my channel. The Cornell method is really good for processing big chunks of information. So it helps you to systematically summarize main ideas of the topic, and then it makes it so much easier to revise that information from your class or from your notes. How to use it is you take a piece of paper and you draw two horizontal lines. One of the lines at the top of the list where you write your subject name, your lesson topics, your date, and etc. The second horizontal line should be at the bottom of the paper, leaving approximately place for 5 or 6 sentences. And then you draw a vertical line in the place of the paper that is left untouched, but you make sure that the right part is approximately 70% and the left part is approximately 30%. In the upper part, you write the subject, the topic, and the teacher name, and etc., as I've told you before. In the rate column, you write all the main notes from your class or your lecture or your textbook. So basically, it's anything your teacher says or anything the lecturer says that you think is important and you think needs to be memorized. The left column is dedicated to your questions, to your comments, to your remarks, your doodles, your drawings, and everything else that just comes into your mind during the class. The bottom part is for the summary of all of your notes. So you analyze notes and you make your own conclusions, write the main ideas and facts, and that will help you when you are revising to speed up the process, because the main facts are already there, summarized and processed by you. Second is the boxing method. So what you do is you take a piece of paper and you draw as many squares as you need. Write headings and subheadings to those squares. You put each topic into this small square. So in each square goes information that is connected to each other. For example, the name of the monarch, what period he ruled and what he did for the country. And you can put like the subheading of, let's say, Henry VI. Then in that square, you write everything you need to remember about that monarch. So all the information is connected to each other. Another square is for another piece of information that maybe, usually you would use one piece of paper for one topic, and then those squares are for different parts of that topic that need to be divided from each other. This method will work perfectly for visual learners and people with developed visual memory. It helps you to organize your notes and also divide unconnected from each other information. So when you are studying or revising, you can concentrate on only one block of information that maybe is from the same topic as other ones, but is not connected to them, and it's just a piece of information on its own. The next one is the Bill Gates method. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's true. An entrepreneur called Rob Howard, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, once wrote in his blog that he had a meeting with Bill Gates, and he also described how Bill Gates takes notes during his meeting. And it really reminds of the boxing method, but it's a little bit different. So how you use it is, quote, "He doesn't take notes from top to bottom, but rather logically divides the page into quadrants, each reserved for a different thought." So how you use it is you take a piece of paper and divide it into 4 parts. Give each one a name depending on what you will fill them with. For example, one may be for main points, one for your questions, one for your thoughts, and etc. It's very useful during lectures and meetings when you can easily divide information into like a couple of topics that can be divided from each other. Next one is called the slides method, and I have been using it for literally a year at this point, and it's my favorite thing ever. So what I do is I take this app on my iPad. It's called Documents. It's obviously not sponsored. It's just, I love that app. I think it's the best one for collecting information, for storing your books, like big chunks of information, highlighting the main words. I downloaded this app and I download my lecture presentation to this app. It has this button that looks like a letter T. It lets you add text to your PDF file. I write anything my teacher says or I think I need to remember to the part of PDF where it would belong. And this way, the additional information stays with my PDF notes forever, or in my textbook, just forever, and can be found whenever I want, alongside with the main material. And the last, but definitely not least, is the charting method. I like using this method online. In a Word document, I create a chart with the amount of columns and rows that I need for the topic, and then I fill in the gaps. I use it when there's too much information that just needs to be structurized, or where there's topics that have the same criteria. For example, different drugs, but they have mechanisms. They all have side effects. The notes become very comparable between each other. So now you can compare one drug to another drug, and it's very easy to see. It's perfect for just structuring everything. This is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love if you could like and subscribe if you found something helpful, and I will definitely see you very soon. Goodbye.